Hey everyone, it's February, and yeah, I know I'm a little late to the party, but I want to tell you my top 10 of 2016 because the Oscars are coming up. So yeah, without further ado, here's my top 10 of 2016. Definitely go check all these movies out. These are fantastic films. I'll probably tell you just a little bit about each of one of them. I'm not really going to spoil any of them because I don't like spoilers, and hopefully you check each of them out. Number 10 is Doctor Strange. This Marvel movie is fantastic. Definitely a surprise because Scott Derrickson, the director, I'm not a huge fan of. He has done Sinister and a couple other horror movies. And I'm not a giant horror movie fan, but he did really, really well in this. Great cinematography, great acting by Benedict Cumberbatch. Go check this one out. Definitely worth your time. Number 9 is Hell or High Water. This movie is fantastic. It's starring Chris Pine, Jeff Bridges, and Ben Foster. Ben Foster and Chris Pine are brothers, and they're two brothers going around in the West. They're robbing banks, and one of them has an epiphany and really wants to get out of this, where the other one is always the troublemaker, and Jeff Bridges pretty much chasing them. Definitely check this one out. I didn't want to give anything away, really, but this movie is great. The screenplay was written by the same guy who did Sicario last year. Number 8 is Sing Street. Now, this movie is so good. If you like John Hughes' 1980s films, this is a surprise for you. Go check it out on Netflix because it's about a boy who wants to really impress a girl by starting a band. That's all I'm going to say about it in Ireland in the 1980s. It's really, really good. It's really, really fun, campy, and just delightful. Definitely check out Sing Street. It's on Netflix, so check it out. Number 7 is Nocturnal Animals, starring Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal. Directed by Tom Ford, who's also a fashion designer. Now, the beginning of this film is very jarring, and I would definitely want to preface that. If you ever want to watch this movie, I would probably fast forward from the beginning because I'm not a fan of that kind of stuff. But whatever, float your boat. But anyways, moving on to the movie kind of a little bit. This movie is really great. Great acting by Amy Adams and Jake Gyllenhaal. It's a thriller drama where pretty much Amy Adams gets in the mail this novel that is written about her, this fictional novel, and it's really about their relationship in the past, and it's really dark, but also really, really good. Also, Michael Shannon plays a really, really funny detective, and definitely worth your time, so check that one out, please. Number 6 is Rogue One, a Star Wars story. This movie is fantastic. It definitely surpassed my own belief. To me, it's better than Episode 7 that came out a year prior to that. The Force Awakens. This movie stars Daisy Ridley and a lot of other characters I cannot think of, Diego. But anyways, this is taking place right between 3 and 4. This is about the crew that pretty much took the Death Star plans and gave it to the rebels, and how they had to deal with all that, and everything involved in this movie is just gorgeous. Gorgeous cinematography, great new score by John Williams, breath of fresh air, seeing a little timepiece in between Star Wars history, and definitely directed really, really well. Number 5 is La La Land. Now, I personally am not a fan of musicals. I really can't stand them. Grease is alright, Chicago is okay, but in general, I'm just not a fan of musicals. But that being said, La La Land was a breath of fresh air. The first 10 minutes, not a fan of. It started out like a musical does, but this was, I think, a homage to the genre. But Damien Chazelle, who did Whiplash back in 2014, really knows how to make a story. Ryan Gosling and Emma Stone do a fantastic job here. Great musical scores, great drama in this the story about L.A., which is just a great caricature of how they make it and break it in this city. I definitely recommend this movie to people who do not like musicals because this movie is fantastic. So check this one out. Number 5 is La La Land. Number 4 is Manchester by the Sea. This movie floored me the first time I saw it, and even the second time I saw it. The acting by Casey Affleck and Michelle Williams really reflect how strong this movie is. It's definitely a story worth watching. This reflects real life, in my opinion, and that's why I really enjoyed this movie. I'm not going to talk about it too much, but there's some tragedies that happen in this movie, and it's really about people dealing with these tragedies and real life experiences. And yeah, it's Hollywoodized a little bit, of course, always is. I mean, we're watching a movie, of course, but definitely check this one out because It's really good, and it's really worth your time. But you probably will cry, just to let you know. My number 3 is Nice Guys, starring Ryan Gosling and Russell Crowe. If you've seen Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, this is pretty much part 2. Shane Black did a fantastic job with this movie. I really, really enjoyed it. Gosling played a over-the-top detective that is just really, really bad at what he does. And Crowe played a down-on-his-luck kind of enforcer. This movie definitely is one of the funniest things I've seen all year. Great dialogue, tight acting by both these guys, and really Shane Black, honestly, I cannot wait to see what he does next. I think he's doing Predator, another Predator remake, which he was in, by the way, as well. If you haven't checked out Nice Guys, check that movie out. It's great. It's a nice buddy cop movie. And also, go check out Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, because you'll understand where this is coming from. Number 2 for me was Arrival, starring Amy Adams and Jeremy Renner. This movie by Denis Villeneuve, I think I said it right. I cannot wait for Blade Runner 2049, which is his next film. But that's going to get me off track. Arrival is a movie about aliens coming to Earth at different locations around the world. We really don't know what's going on, and Amy Adams has to figure it out, and she needs to interpret them, to interpret their language. And that's all I'm going to say about that movie. Great cinematography, great acting. Although I don't really understand Jeremy Renner's character in this movie as much as I should have. He didn't really do too much science. But that's going into the film. Definitely check this movie out. Great cinematography, like I said. Great editing, great sound. The sound is just gorgeous in this movie. Denis really knows how to put a backdrop and a soundscape to each of his films. And that's one of the best things I can say about his movies. Check out Arrival. It's really, really good. And it's definitely not your typical sci-fi movie. Alright, my number 1. If you've seen my Oscar predictions, you'll see this as well. My number 1 is Moonlight. Now this movie, talk about a story untold, is about a gay African-American, and it really is told in 3 parts. When he's kind of a child, around 8 or 9 years old, and then it goes on to his middle school, high school era, and then it goes into adulthood, and how he's dealt with all of his experiences and all the people he's met and all the things he has to do. This movie is edited great, brilliant acting on all fronts. I'm not going to be surprised if this movie wins for Best Picture. This is my own personal favorite movie. But yeah, that's my top 10 for 2016. Please like, comment, share. Tell me what your top 10 of 2016 were. And I can't wait to see you next time. And I'm not jonesing around.